My research focus for more than 25 years has been in the areas that people often lump together as courts and law. So I've done research on how courts operate, and especially what happens behind the scenes and how that affects individuals' lives. But related to that is the impact of law. And much of my attention has been on constitutional rights in the criminal justice system, not just the rules about rights as they are articulated by the Supreme Court, but the way those rules that we call law are translated or not translated by actors in the system, such as police officers and corrections officers, because it's really that translation of law that has an impact on human beings. And I'll always say the most important thing about criminal justice is what happens to human beings, and certainly the way in which courts process cases, and certainly the ways in which rules are implemented or not implemented are major factors in determining what happens to people when they come into contact with the criminal justice system. I went to law school and earned a law degree, so I am in fact a lawyer. But in law school, I developed a great interest in the impact of law on the lives of human beings. So I continued from law school to earn a PhD focusing on courts and law and the impact of law. So I set out thinking I would want to be a lawyer practicing law, and in gaining that knowledge about law, I came to realize that I really would rather study the impact of law on people and try to use that in a way in the classroom, in teaching. I had taught in 2 prisons. One was while I was in law school, and that's when I really realized the power and potential of teaching to try to reach people with information and develop their capacity to think. And I really saw issues about constitutional rights and the court system as being particularly important and not fully understood. And that's why I ended up making that my focus of research. In the books that I write, I take my research and I try to apply it in ways that will add value to the books, add value to what I can offer to instructors, and add value to students. I think that my work has been particularly strong in illuminating ways in which the law has impacts in the criminal justice system that people do not expect. So I'm able to take work that I've done in looking at policing and think about the ways in which police officers are challenged to learn the rules of law, to avoid the temptation of going around the rules of law, and the ways in which they may inadvertently apply law in a manner that judges did not intend. And similarly, I think when you look at the presentation of courts and how prosecutors behave, decisions that defense attorneys make, they are doing it under the umbrella of law. And specific studies that I've done have been about judges, have been about attorneys, prosecutors, and that helps me inform my perspective about how to present these things. A lot of my recent work has been on the role of law in corrections. And I've written quite a number of articles recently about prisoner litigation, the challenges faced by corrections officials in trying to follow the rules of law in a very difficult environment where they are challenged with scarce resources to deal with a difficult population in a manner that respects the rules of law. So I think in many ways, when you have a topic such as law, it's something that can inform what you present in a textbook all across the entire criminal justice system, not just in a way that says, here are the rules, but that really focuses on what's important. How do those rules affect decision makers? And how do the decision makers' use of those rules affect the lives of human beings?